Hello. It,
First blood.
oh, okay. I don't think my headphones are on. There we go. Hello, and happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Today we are continuing our playthrough of Danganronpa. I think we are midway, or I think most of the way actually, through the second case here. The reward was out of stock. I think sometimes you just gotta give it a second, but it shouldn't have been. Glad you were able to get it, DJ. Great job, bud. Oh, man. So I believe we last left off with Danganronpa. I think Fujisaki died? And we're investigating the scene of her untimely demise. And we basically got enlisted by Tagabe to be his assistant, I guess the Watson to his Holmes? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what that guy's deal is, but we've been working with him to try and piece together what happened exactly. And we're going to see the conclusion of that and get into a trial too. Let's kick it off. I used to be somebody. I'm sick of this. One day, bro. I promise. One day. Keep trying. You'll get it. Eventually.
Danganronpa.
Let's do it. Tagabe!
Such ignorance.
You're talking to the wrong person, you waste of space. Great way to start. Hi, Ida. You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So what's this emergency?
So,
Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Taco in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, you know, see how she was doing, but when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out. She kept saying all this weird stuff. So I gotta adjust my mic here. All this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Good idea. Okay, well, before we do that... What's the button? Yeah, that button. What is, view our evidence a little bit here. Alright, we have the Monokuma file. Chihiro Fujisaki, time of death, 2 a.m., body, locker room, second floor, cause of death was a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Okay, we got Sakura's account. She wants to get stronger. She declined several invitations from Sakura and Ayoi. May have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Shiro... I take it. Despite this, Shiro had stated that she desired help with her efforts. We have the murder weapon. The dumbbell found on the floor of the girls' locker room with a significant amount of blood. We have Mondo's account. Said Shiro had told anyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. You're sick. Oh no. I hope you feel better, man. Being sick sucks. Next piece of evidence here is a card reader stuff. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your E handbook. Card reader, you need a male student handbook for the boys' locker and a female student's for the girls'. It is possible for two people to enter. It's not possible, excuse me, for two people to enter at the same time. Additionally, limiting someone your handbook is a violation of school regulations. Then we have the handbooks of the deceased students. Handbooks of each student that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. One of them is broken, though, which we think is Leon's. One of the handbooks found in the main hall had been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Junko and Sayaka's handbook both seem to still work, so it's assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have been broken. So somebody intentionally broke the thing, maybe, to keep us from viewing it. And now we have to talk to Junko, who's or not Junko, Taco, who's acting weird. Okay, might as well give it a shot. Ding dong, bing bong. It's me, Nagi. The door swung open, slowly and silently. Why is she shaking like a leaf, bro? Like a leaf in the wind. Holy crap. An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that, Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But, could you open up, just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time when I rang a little while ago. Drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. Doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door, but it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Taco was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing is by Byakuya? Does he think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Taco's so scared? Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Yeah, this guy. Tagame. Hey, Byaku, you think you could ask her? To come out of her room, I mean?
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byaku stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. After a few moments.
What do you want?
Leave me alone, you're all so annoying. Bacula!
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Tagame couldn't pull it off. There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on. Hey Tagame, what was Taco talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I have no idea, excuse me, yes. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But,
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Tagame, where you going, buddy? Where are you going? Where you scampering off to? I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking towards his destination. Finally, his feet. Oh god. His feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. The library. Come on, let's go in. What exactly am I looking for here, buddy? Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. There's no point in checking there. We need to find real clues. No clues here. We need to check elsewhere. What, the freaking archive? Knock it off. What does a desk lamp matter right now? Oh my god. If I remember, on the other side of this door, it's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Here?
Let's go.
It all makes sense once you're inside. Whoa, there's so many books and files. Like some sort of archive. And some with dust, too.
So, in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. What's this? A box. An empty box. Made of wood. Although judging by the smudges in the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? A desk lamp? Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
what?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. Monokuma koi. The shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. You have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh? That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years, huh? You sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in before you peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. I feel you, bro. So many files stuffed onto the shelf. What's in all these things? These documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. Being like members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power. The Secret Council controlling everything from the shadows. The shadow government. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There's some very interesting people in there. You're kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. What are you standing in front of there, buddy? What's behind you? There's a ton of thick files stuffed onto the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. These things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful. What do you mean? All these files there are investigative reports related to different cold cases. True crime! These are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you expect to leak. Oh? So you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guy's problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you labeled it a lie. Fake news. Well, it's not that. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but, I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope Speak truly wields, or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible. What do you mean, usually? Usual? Normal? Ordinary? Simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times. Reviewed them? Hold on a second. You're saying you've read all the documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Tagami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How's that possible? I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world, backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim without a doubt that the materials gathered here are the real thing. Oh god. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. What has always interested me the most were the code cases, the police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. He loves true crime, bro. He's the true crime girly, bro. Oh lordy. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of these cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all these reports, one of my recent favorites is a Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack killing. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are killed, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save you surprise, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. Huh? In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So in other words,
The culprit isn't a copycat. It's the real deal, the real Genocide Jack.
in other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself amongst the rest of us. The Genocide Jack really is. Such a brutal fiendish killer really is walking around around among us? Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. There's a ton of thick files. Haven't talked to him again? Tagame, about that case file. Did you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, he didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly my hand stopped. I'd reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. And they're all covered in grimace shake. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Joji Gaku, 23. Kano Ise? I think that's what he said it. 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuna Taro. Takafumi Gano. Yuhida Naohisa? Takashi Masamune. Yoto Yumajima, and there was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. Take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? What, the weapon of choice? Profiling results. All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. So, a student. The most common time for the killing to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Yeah. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was an external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words,
Multiple personalities. The key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality like the kind of thing you see on TV? So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story, but this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up until now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business, haven't we? Wait! Yakuya! As usual, Tagami turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch him. This is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Just all of a sudden like that? Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Oh my god. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own. Goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he cut me off. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I uncovered some really important clues next to him. He's the one that killed Chihiro, Genocide Jack. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. To do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys too. And the others might have come up with some useful information while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Hi, Yamato. Ding ding. The phobia discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
Feel as if
Another stat increase for me. Evidence? What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet, but I guarantee that I will find what I found would still to kill his breath from his very lungs. Are you sure about that? Yeah, Miss Lindbergh said she witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did you see?
Well, it would seem.
She refused to tell me, but it's like when a girl bullies the guy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where is Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? Alright, I'm going in. Interesting. Hey, Kyoko, have you made any progress in your investigation? Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the killing. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kirigi returned and left the girls' locker room. Guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? It's definitely worth worrying about. Got new evidence. What's up, Sakura?
damn.
Chihiro's presence here was especially weak. Her body and her soul.
Forgiveness.
The target's such a helpless bead, it's unforgettable. Forgivable. What a wretched beast to do such a thing. I cannot forget this. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? Oh, I need to get stronger. I do remember what she said more than once. Sure did. Which I guess explains the trip down here, huh? But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't even all that strong. I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. Girl's complex. Where did it come from? Can we say I should examine the body one more time? I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Hero's hands are bound with looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix pose. Huh. This rope has a plug? Wait, so then this isn't a rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. That's the issue of her being suspended in the fatal blow. At first I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Status of a dead body. Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of that rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. To figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. This door leads to pool. Still more need to check. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood, just like in all the other Genocide Jack cases. Every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. Oh my god. Not quite right. Bloodstained the carpet could only have been caused by the murder. Bloodstained poster, the blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. Oh my god, brother. A girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Tears hands bound. Rope.
Damn.
I can leave, okay. I have to look at everything first. Okay, boys, locker room. Ah! Dry blood! Dry blood on the floor! Oh, this poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado? Somehow doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. Wait, that reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were... Why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. Because the blood splattered on it and they probably wanted to make it clear or to like hide where the actual murder took place, right? That's why we had this blood stain. Strange stain on the carpet. What is it? It's grimace shake. Sakura, Mondo, or Hino would be the people to talk to, right? Spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay then, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker room could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day, I spilled some of the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stain. Oh, a stain. I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly, I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain there to begin with. Disappearing stain. Oh, yeah, they just swapped everything around then. Okay, he's not saying anything new. We're gonna skip through it. Okay. So warehouse is one place, however, also library. Again. Oh. Library. Turn on, it's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. Last time I saw it, it was definitely on. It was definitely right here. That's right. Tagame was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. Wonder if... Lamp desk. Library desk lamp. Excuse me. Then go over here. Back to the archives. The box. The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. Desk lamp. Okay. Yeah, we got everything then. Still more I need to check. Maybe just some kind of clue? Guess not. Gorgeous letter, Speak stopped functioning as a school, and what's more, it didn't even happen recently. Apparently closed down a year ago. Mastermind probably took over the abandoned school in order to start this killing game. This explains why there weren't any other students here, because it's not a real school. Then it's a serious issue that forced the school to close down in the first place. Is there any connection between that and what's happening to us now? Mastermind's motive. If we can figure out why, then they would want to imprison us all here. Would that be enough to get us out? Or... guess we're just reviewing the file again? I want to take another look at Genocide Jack's case file. I know it's around here somewhere. It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? The only one who would do something like that. I can't think of anyone but Tagame. Treated myself to a nice brunch place today. Oh yeah. Let's just say the boozy mimosa is actually boozy. I got drunk off of one drink. Damn. Oh yeah. Taka? Mr. Phoenix right? Mr. Ace Attorney himself? Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it, I'm sorry, Chihiro. It's all because I wasn't strong enough. That's right, it's all your fault, Taka. This is on you. This blood is on your hands. I mean, this grimace chick. Oh, God. Okay, Wait. Wait a second. What's this room? That was their trial room. I don't want to go in. I don't want to see this place ever again. Guess we talk to Celeste? Whoa. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It is absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. Well, talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I will tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What
are you-
are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assume she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it appears she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this ever would have happened. Get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of a track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Celeste's account has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Okay. Laundry? Guess not. Nothing sticking out immediately. Let me talk to Hina. Taka's room? Should probably just leave her alone for now. Oh, Hina? Hina's room. I doubt there's any clues here. Fair enough. Leon, Hiro, Ifumi. Where's Tagame? Right there. Doubt there's any clues. Damn it. Tried. Or this one. Trash bin, the dump, in other words. The grate in the way I can't actually get inside. Anyway, it's not related to the case. There's nobody left who would do what Leon did. Take the bath? One in the sauna. What about the dining hall? Oh, there's Hina. Hina, how's Taco doing? Same as before, she won't come out and she keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmy and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Taco's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating? A donut, of course. Of course? There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Really? Bet Chiara would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe there was one of her big regrets. Should try to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well,
She was a little bit strange, didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's true. It wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. She just shy? I don't know, she talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite? Wait, maybe. Maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law say you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Okay, another count. Ding dong. Bing bong. It's time for a trial.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Begin the class trial, or... It's about to begin. The red door is right through here. Oh god, okay. So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Taco's not here. And Taco is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Taco behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. Phew. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then. Also, what's in the elevator? Let's get this show on the road. See you guys down there. So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaka. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here is a cold-blooded killer.
Hey, come on.
Fucking Taco, man. What's got her so worked up? I'll give you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. There's something odd about Taco's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. Jesus Christ. Guess I wasn't much help at all in this one. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? You ready? We doing this?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual.
How very sad.
Miss Fujisaka, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. This fucking guy.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin? Alright. It's time for a trial. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
True.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race, faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking, sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. Oh, what do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it fresh? Isn't it exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good. You're ripping and raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills, kills.
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. Thank you, Meg. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly crash trial. Do I want to save? Of course I do. Yeah. Set my freaking skills too, or at it. Chat will be risen again on Easter. Yeah. It is Easter weekend coming up. In honor of Chihiro, we're gonna use her skill. Alright. I think we're good.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
God, I wished he punished me. We're down bad for a bear? A psycho bear? A psycho serial killer bear, bro? Wild. Wild. Couldn't be me. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I have two moods. Horny and hornier. Jesus. Okay, I mean, it's clear that it was the dumbbell.
Fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, Frico. Oh, no.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Do you? Do you really, Tagabe?
What? For real?
For real? Alright, so we have Persona.
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack. Did he really kill Chihiro? New element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yes! For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Really? Your true bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer at the white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. This is not Metal Gear Rising. Well, then good luck and have fun. Case file, locker room, dumbbell, lamp.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Yamada. Why?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case.
I got it!
That one?
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
Evangelion.
Fucking way.
It's an angel.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What?
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
One with a split personality.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why has this gotta be so complicated?
It does seem like a riddle in a way, but I feel like I can just about see it. Genocide Jack is Toko, but isn't Toko. What does it mean? Hangman's Gambit. Was it? Schizo?
Now I understand.
No way, that's the word.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing that shows Toko could have a split personality.
I got it!
How her behavior changed?
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head really hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom ending. A sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. That means he sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I mean, she literally said it. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
Nope.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
I can.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Cold-blooded, dude.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
Sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Oh no! Sagame, you fiend!
That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second,
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill.
What the heck?
Good love story, I guess. I don't know if it's a love story.
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
She's Genocide Jacking off.
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives
Oh
another
my
that
god.
shines as bright as the sun.
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
What is going on?
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
You're bugging, baby. You're crazy. You're acting crazy right now. There's clearly a motive. Yeah.
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined.
I told you before, I need a woman that will actually kill me. Oh god, bro. He's looking for the Hello Kitty GF, dude. Pray for this man.
So she had
Pray
a
for him.
clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
I don't know, man. That wasn't her signature. She uses scissors. That was a blunt weapon. Other fact, it was a very heavy-looking dumbbell. And looking at Toko, bro, I don't think she could have lifted that shit and smacked somebody over the head with it. Lifted? Maybe she could have lifted. I don't think she could have freaking brought it over the top of her head and brought it down on somebody else's. Like,
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Thank you for being the wingman for Meg.
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that. But something's still bothering me. What's he said? I need to get some more details about all of this. Oh my god. Experience stains has a dead body. Desk? It's not the desk slab. It has the body.
But I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
The modus operandi? Yeah, so it's the case, the status of the body then, because he didn't use the scissors.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Except it doesn't!
No.
Objection!
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Jesus.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
Oh my god.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
One cool difference between the murder. The injury.
For one, the cause cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is okay, so yeah, what was used? So the extension cord versus the scissors.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Jesus Christ.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
You only kill men?
Pattern.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
There's a pattern surrounding the Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. You can figure it out. I know why she couldn't have done it.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Kenarada 32, Tetsuhiro Honda 17, Shoji Jaku 23, Kano Issei 14, Takashi Yoshida 30, Kamatsuna Taro, Takafumi Gano, Yoshida no Naohi, Takashi Masamu, Yoto Yumajima. There was no end to it.
They were all guys?
Yep, you're next, hero.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors! scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Holy shit!
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Her tongue just keeps getting longer.
But really was suspended.
It really seems like it.
But the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
The freak is expanding. Oh my god, bro. Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Tagabe!
Here's my answer.
Because he read the file.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms. You're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? Seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. Need to make it clear to everyone. New element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yeah! Next we're going to add something called a true flashback. If you aim at a weak point and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullets, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie contradiction to your loaded truth bullets, it'd be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I would say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck, and have fun. I'll make my argument with your argument.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
Yamada, stop it!
Absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
To make the contradiction clear?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity that
So he knew that before we saw the body, yeah.
room, you absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Differences between this case and other Genocide Jack killings. The evidence that proves Tagame is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? That's only boys? Disappearing stains, Celeste's account. Okay, probably none of those.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right. It absolutely was.
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
You
Obviously,
bastard!
hidden away somewhere.
The text! They blocked me! God damn it!
You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right. It absolutely was.
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
Why can't you say it outright? Because then it wouldn't be a trial. It wouldn't be a mystery.
I've seen it before.
He wouldn't be a detective.
Because you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm. Totally unconcerned. It's as if he's not even involved? Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
Why is Tagami trolling me right now?
Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Yaku's remark just now, there's something that concerns me. The girls' locker room?
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Do I detect a hint of sarcasm in there, Tagami?
Dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Yakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Yakuya, who had such confidence up till now, maybe Yakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Sakura's account or the stain in the posters? Evidence to show that the killing took place somewhere else. You just focus on those things that got switched. Okay, so... carpet? Sakura's account. Sorry, but you're wrong. It's the best you got. Now's the time to show me your best reason. What? Okay, so I guess we finished with that then? Okay, I guess they did say specifically just things that got switched. Fine. The posters.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
Not just that.
There's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
Not that it was scrubbed away. It was replaced. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device.
The missing handbook.
Chihiro's handbook
Or the broken one.
only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is she right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Broken the handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Not if they're dead.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Unless.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
That it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that...
Her secret.
Why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Court's in recess.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
We want a recess, Monokuma.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Let's go.
For real? Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kirigiri in the lead, and where she took us was the scene. The scene of the crime!
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again, huh?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Make
examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Yamada!
No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's
Okay, good.
probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were stared wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is...
Not a girl at all!
Is what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire!
They never saw... They never saw a femboy before. Basically.
That's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. Thought it never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
You're wildin'. You're wildin' right now. Settle down.
His handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
Thank you for the assist, Gary. Appreciate you.
The killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well...
Only 20 minutes left.
I did find it rather odd.
Maybe we gotta go a little faster then, huh?
I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Takama, you didn't know shit, baby.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
He did it for the funny, dude.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
The tiniest amount of tomfoolery, exactly.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
If Tagami didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer is a guy. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Whispering Stain, Celeste? Check out.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me think something weird is going on. Okay, so there's a contradiction.
Single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
It's literally the next thing. Oh my god.
someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? That's how it's really hard to believe.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Correct.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. 'Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Saying there's something that's off about what someone just said?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
I mean, you just got him to reply to something. They probably didn't need to.
That tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit.
Just implied that he was there, yeah.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, wait, it's the next thing. It was the next one. He called me a little bitch. That's crazy.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
He outed himself.
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Shoot! First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
What?
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
It's the other way around?
Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
Is she let a loop around now? Yeah, because we have the evidence now. We should.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Fam! what do you mean, bro? Oh my god. Am I dumb? Am I dumb, bro? Am I tripping right now? There's only like
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was
one thing you could be then? How do you know it was blue?
We have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific
Which I guess is still him outing himself, but like less complex.
It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue track.
That was it. Oh.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
Saw him stuffing a tracksuit into a duffel bag. Then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Well, because I
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
Taka, stop trying to help out your bro. You'll get us all killed.
That can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
Why are we out at night, bro?
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked?
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
He said dude or whatever.
You call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
Taka!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then...
Taka's a ride or die, bro. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Be a real one.
Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Whose is it, Yamada? Found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong.
I got it!
Chihiro's?
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Exploiting the bug?
Shoot!
Oh my god! In its weak point.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession,
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Oh, yeah, definitely Mondo.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around.
Yep.
So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke?
Yeah, Mondo, because he had his clothes on.
They'd realize it was
like an
broken,
idiot.
of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
Mondo.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Taka's crying, bro. Can only been one person. It was you, bro. It was you!
Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Yeah, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Broken e-handbook?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Correct!
My goddamn handbook works just fine.
So it's definitely that one.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Ooh, wait a second. It actually might be wrong. Maybe it's just saying wrong? Oh, God. I think we're gonna go with broken handbook to start. I hope that works.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
I missed. I missed!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong.
I missed!
Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Run it back.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
Objection.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Then he couldn't even get to his own room.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
We've been over this, no!
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Taka!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Closing argument. Act 1. Stuffs it in the bag, goes over here. But everyone has a need to get into a locker room. Which locker room did Chihiro go into? That one? Goes in. The weapon the killer used. Blood splatter onto something. Like that, but... yeah. Gotta look for the right image, that one. Drops it. Puts around the carpet. Probably that. And then move to girls' locker room. That. Was it that Byakuya brought to the murder scene? That could have been. This. Did you use to disguise what had happened? Where did the killer go after they were done? Then dropped.
The killer is you. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Oh no, bro, my heart! My heart! That maybe? Okay, we have one last shot to do this shit. Let's look. Anything else? Anything else here?
Here's exactly what happened.
Or get executed. I hit the wrong button, by the way. We might actually, yeah.
She made her way to the... But how could the... Simple, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there.
Fuck! Nobody believe me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Uh-oh, have we already come to the end of the debate? Well then, the class trial is officially adjourned. Why am I doing a voice? Oh, fuck. Well then, the class trial is officially adjourned. Now it's time to reveal who's the blackened. It would appear that the one with the most votes is Makoto. However, Makoto is not the blackened. Too bad. Why the fuck would they vote for me? What? Looks like the real killer gets to graduate. Congratulations to them. On the other hand, everyone else must now be punished.
Is this really the end for all of us?
Is it all over? What do you say? Want to give it another shot? Yeah. But I refuse to die. But my hope will never die. Yep. Yes, that one. Then... Wait. And then... That. Blood splatter. That. Our weapon dropped. Holy shit. Switch her on the carpet. That. Locker room. Boom. Wait, this is taking it off, right? Yeah, that's taking it off. That's putting it on. The use of disguise would have happened. That. Killer go after they were done. To the sauna. That's where they drop that, right?
The killer is you! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
There was a guy in there.
He met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
He was there pumping iron.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room.
But he couldn't do it because the ID didn't match, so he had to go and grab one from the hall, which he knew about.
The girls' handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo's the killer. That already revealed itself early in the trial. All you have to do is check that one item of his, and everything will become clear. New element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Yeah! Talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. During bullet time battles, you press the space key. Fever time to activate the tempo will be forced to its maximum. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. You can press right, left, however you want to destroy the enemy's verbal assault. But it's only lasts until your focus gauge runs out. So make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we also prepared something called Nega Time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates Nega Time during a bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If we were to activate Fever Time at this point, and never mind, I'm not sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't do this. Well then, good luck, have fun. Taka, bro.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. some evidence.
I can't. I keep forgetting. Trial's over. Oh my god. I refuse again. I should have just looked at the controls from the start. I'm forgetting that you have to hit the right mouse button first to aim and fire. I was just firing like a maniac.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
There we go.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
I'll take it. Still an A.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait, hold on.
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Ding dong, bing bong. It's punishment time.
What?
Uh-oh! This time it looks like you got it right again! Yes, it is so! The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaka was Mondo Iwata!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Taka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence. Jim, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. What? No. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaka. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You were so weak even though you were a boy. He held things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness. Take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen this as his way out. Nobody would be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, the world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the reveal of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to diverge. Even though he dresses like a girl, well, I guess that's still him. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro's actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. And that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being dressed into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I really don't want to talk about it right now. But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm gonna get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it. When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yup, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo about it would help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration after all. He thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come that close.
Correct.
Come close to that, excuse me. So then that must be why Mondo did what he did to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
I could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep it secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting them in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he had made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone? It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can, and that's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know? You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It's because of Daya that Mondo even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust and respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, he had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why...
I
gotta get stronger to Daya. Once, just one time, no matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... he stopped him from getting isekai'd, bro. He stopped him from getting hit by Truck-kun. Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's a team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong. And yet. As soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own big brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. Brother killer. Boo this man! Boo this man! Boo! His death and all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why. That's why I... Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself to a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden? Because I mean, you've kept that secret all the time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I want to change. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of myself forever. Oh, shit got a little too real for him, bro. And he lashed out. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposed to a lie I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. You can't hurt you, right? Oh no! Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? He crashed out. I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, I am strong. Strong, I'm so strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya. Bonk. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. Grab a shake. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. It's like when you play these rare romance games that have very easy to get bad endings. Oh my god.
I killed him.
Oh no.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. Weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Oh, look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. You bastard. Shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead. Say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. It is what I want to say, but... Unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing? You mean... Punish Snake? You mean execution? Well, yeah, that's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Iwata, the ultimate biker gang leader! No, wait. Wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made.
From
one man to another.
First time the charm, am I right? We got there. We got there. Oh my god, he has a pompadour! Let's ride! The cage of death.
Shut up, Stinky.
Oh my god. He got fried. Burnt him to a crisp, bro. Oh my god! No way! Oh my god. Life or death, and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. They turned bro into butter. My brother. Another murder. Another execution. I want to feel again. I just want to feel something. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe it's not Mondo. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Taka's fucking crushed, bro. Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. Tagame? Completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead, do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. He's a troll. He's a troll, bro. He's a freaking troll. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. I mean, you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. I didn't have the slightest idea I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew what the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed, but if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up a bit. You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that? To create the fake murder scene? But damn, man, if we hadn't figured it out, who would have really done it? We would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Tagame turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing me. Oh, you mad? You mad I was better than you, bro? Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become Blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. What?
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. This definition of wasting time is iconic. Oh my god. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
You.
I like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Oh, don't you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean? 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 Mean?
What the heck?
Mean! Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Meme. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me. Oh, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up. I've never stooped to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm gonna find you and kill you, understand? In the name of the Takame family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
That line was kinda hard, I'm not gonna lie. That shit was kinda hard. Oh, so cool. It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I'll kill you. Temper. Seems like someone needs a nap. And so ends another class trial. Monokuma's laugh peeled across the courtroom and the curtain closed in the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. Holy shit, Nagi, what the fuck? A blind puppy in hell. Alright, all of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair. Blind puppy in hell.
Well, anyway, like I was saying...
The weirdest comparison I've ever heard. That's what I'm saying. Who came up with that one? They cooked, kinda. They kinda cooked.
This is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot.
That was a line.
Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
Who is this mystery person? There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean. What? The what?
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Bald mystery person. Must be a computer science major. Jesus Christ, play it. They were already dead. They're already dead. Stop. Have mercy. Anyway, chapter 2. Complete. Remaining students. 10. To be continued. Next time. Received the crazy diamond present. Want to save the data? Yeah. Yeah. Sniff. Sniff, sniff. Damn, Hina!
I know I shouldn't cry, but...
Neurons activated, huh? I've had enough.
I can't take it anymore.
Oh, it's voice acting. What am I doing? Anyway.
Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to
Do a murder. Do a killing. Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Despair donuts. Holy shit! You're definitely an athlete. Look at your fucking room, bro. Where's that protein powder at? She just like me for real. What, the donuts? Or the protein powder? Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream filled, donut holes, malasadas. What the fuck is a malasada? Stress eating. I feel that. If I wasn't supposed to eat it, why'd they make it taste so good? What type of donut is that? A Portuguese fried pastry. Oh. That looks pretty good. Very popular in Hawaii. Huh.
Okay.
Oh, God of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. Sniff, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. But right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary. What the fuck? Huh? Is that a Reggie still, bro? There's a Pokemon in the building?
Huh?
What's that sound? Sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse? I'm super scared, but... Is someone there? Gasp. If I heard that, I would have walked back to my room. Same! It's the ghost of Chihiro. A next generation legend. Stand tall, galactic hero. Daily life. The morning after the conclusion of the second-class trial. Everyone met up in the dining hall, just like always. And I expected it to start like any other day. That's what I expected, but... Today's count kinda sucks, huh? Toko and Tagame still refuse to show up. And I haven't seen Miss Hina anywhere. She said her stomach was hurting, so she's taking it easy in her room for today. This is rather unusual for her. Normally she's so full of energy. Which is exactly what makes me worry.
So then...
So it's just the 7 of us then, right? It looks that way. It's times like this where the committee chairman needs to get things going with a bang. Oh no! They broke Taka, bro. They broke him. He has the 1,000-yard stare. Oh my my god!
Impossible.
Or not. Taka hasn't said a word since everything that happened yesterday, but he showed up though. One look at his face showed he hadn't slept awake last night. It must be because of Mondo. They turned his ass to butter, bro. The two of them came so close, and he finds that Mondo killed Chihiro, and having to watch Mondo get punished and nothing he could do about it. I can't even imagine what it must have done to him.
Well,
Exactly. Excellent use of the emote. So I mean, what's gonna happen now? We haven't found any way out, and we have no idea if help's ever gonna come.
It's like...
Now I'm all depressed just thinking about it.
Hope.
We simply have to make the best of things, do our best to get along and live here together in peace. Forget about the outside world and accept this new life. That is the only hope we have now. What? So live here forever?
well,
Here we have every convenience. We have food, clothes, and our every need is seen too. Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What is it about the outside world that you long for?
is that okay?
Competition? Discrimination? Victimization? Violence? As society glows, so does its perversion. In which case, our current situation, not... Demon Angel, pretty pudgy princess. What?
Here we go.
Meggie, the drill shop surge. The drill shop owner, the bunny-eared Amazon. Cat girl... What? Cat girl dog boy. Robo Justice, the Galactic King. And... He's powering up. What I mean is, there's no 2D here.
There is nothing to be done.
The mastermind puts such base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will.
You know?
Okay, well, anyway, since Taka's, like, catatonic, as the oldest one here, I'm officially stepping up to take the lead. So we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching the school. Searching?
I'm right.
I mean, since the trial is over and all, there should be new places for us to investigate. Yeah, that's the ticket. Maybe we'll find some kind of clue this time.
Well then.
And once we're done eating, let's split up and begin looking around. Do you have any problem with that, Celeste? There may well be a discovery waiting for us, which may further enrich our life here. No point. No, the point is to look for clues. Just as we were starting to come together, she barged in to ruin the conversation.
You called for me, and so I appeared.
Genocide! Nobody called for you. What the? How come it's Genocide Joe, not Taco? God, this place is just amazing. Finally a place I can just be my murderous self. Which is why I decided to stop holding back and spread my wings and kill. No more hiding in a cave for me. Plus, I have another battle to fight. Taco reminds me of Takoyaki. Yeah. That's fair. The whole killer with a split personality thing is so overdone. I gotta destroy that stereotype. There you go. I'll fight all day and all night to murder those totally slanderous critics. Or cliches, excuse me. But you are a killer with a split personality. If you weren't here, my chances of survival would be at least 10. Come on, you gotta back me up here. Even the biggest stars need the little people to hold them up. Well, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. We can't do anything on an empty stomach. I hunger. I hunger as well. I have chicken marinated in the fridge right now. I'm making tacos out of it. You're right. Let's hurry up and eat so we can start our investigation. He's tripping. So we were forced to eat breakfast with our killer. After our much needed but very annoying meal, we set to work looking around the school. How dare you meal plan? I gotta. You gotta give it time. You gotta give the time for the marinade to work its magic. I gotta plan ahead. I put that shit in like at 2 o'clock today. So it's well ready. I would like to get 8 hours, but 7's fine enough. It's good enough. Alright. How do I save? System? Yes. Alright. Save. And with that, we're gonna end things here. Okay. Tomorrow. Yeah, I'm liking the game. I'm liking it a lot. Tomorrow. Fuck, what did I say last week? I think it said tomorrow? Until then, maybe? Until then... Y'all played Doki Doki? We played Doki Doki. We also played a Doki Doki mod. That was a while ago, though. It was like... Ooh, at least a year, maybe a year and a half, even. Oh. I think the VOD exists, though, so it's on the YouTube, the VOD channel. If you want to check it out. I think, When you meet her a love story. Oh no. OG Doki Doki. If you recommend it, maybe we'll play it. If it's multiple routes, though, we might have to do it like Higurashi? I think it's what it's called. The one with the animal, the cat boys and rabbit boys. Yeah, we'll probably only be able to do one route for that. Yeah, I think Tuesday, I think it's tomorrow, we'll just do Until Then. Wednesday, we'll finish up Jimmy at Dead of Night. And then Thursday and Friday, Arkham City. And then whenever we finish one of those, probably when we finish at Dead of Night, we'll move Until Then to Wednesday. So we can have the Tuesday slot open for shorter games, short form games. But either way, that I look at it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna finish at Dead of Night, or we're gonna finish Arkham City. One of those is getting to finish this week, for sure. Alright, that's the plan we're gonna stick with. I'm sorry if it deviates from the plan I set out on Friday. I forgot. This is new plan now. Alright, y'all have a wonderful evening. Take it, I hope you feel better. And I'll see you next time. Bye.